Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be discussing Jupiter's Legacy, which is a new superhero show that just dropped on Netflix yesterday, the 7th. Um, yeah, I will try to keep this the minimum spoiler so you can enjoy it, but there might be some, so just a heads up spoiler warning. Um, yeah, this show is based on two comics actually. The first being Jupiter's Legacy, as the name states, which is 12 chapters, as well as Jupiter's Circle, which was a prequel comic that came out after the original, which is 12 chapters. The prequel showed how the heroes got their powers and their startup. Um, and Jupiter's Legacy itself, the comic, showed the current story that was going on in the series. But the series now combines both, so we're getting both the current story as well as the past in flashback form, of course, to explain some of the things instead of having to wait forever to get it. So let's get into the show now. Um, the show is about this group of heroes called the Union, and like any other superhero group, they have a code, they have morals, they have ethics, and this is starting to cause a fracture between the group essentially because um as we learn throughout the show, these heroes got their powers, the original union, or six heroes because they're originally six, I'll drop a job. They got their powers way back in the early 19 something, even before World War II. So back then, good and evil was more black and white, and they still had their code, but crime wasn't as bad because they didn't have superpower beings then. It was robberies and normal shootouts and things like that, easy to solve then. But now, in this present day and time, they have villains with superpowers as well. And this is bringing code now, their code, into question because as we progress throughout the show, we see certain events leading to people dying, and some of the heroes are starting to think now, well, instead of catching a villain and he's breaking out of jail and then causing so much destruction, and then when we have to stop the villain, civilians are dying, humans are dying. Well, humans are civilians, but humans are dying. Um, heroes are dying. Um, they're starting to think maybe we should put these villains down for good so they can't cause these problems. And this is where the show plays a good or does a good job in showing the differences in opinions and the dynamics because the Utopian is, like I said, the Superman of the show, so he has the Superman morals. He doesn't want to kill, he doesn't want to do this, he doesn't want to do that. But everyone else is starting to stray from his morals and they want to, like I said, put down the villains because they see as the show progresses how bad some of the villains are. Um, so that is essentially the main plot of the story. I don't want to be spoilery because I want you all to enjoy the show. Um, the other dynamic now is actually between Utopia's family, as I said. This is because him and his wife have been together for over 100 years, um, or something to that effect. Um, and they have kids. And of course, his son is an up and coming hero. His name is Brandon, but his hero name is Paragon. So he's trying to aspire to be like his dad, which is the next Superman, next Utopian. Um, so he's working hard, but it seems like everything he does doesn't really add up to what his dad is looking for. So there's that dynamic there. Then there's also the dynamic of the sister who's a rebel. She doesn't want to be part of the family. She resents them because it seems that everything is or has to be done a particular way to please them. So, for example, without spoiling, so random example, it's like her family doesn't want her to go out and do this because it will look bad on them. But she wants to live her life the way she wants to. So that leads to another dynamic between the parents and the children. Um, so it's a good dynamic between all of them. Um, but like I said, I don't want to be spoilery, so I'm trying to keep spoilers to a minimum. If any slip out, I'm sorry, but I'm keeping it to a minimum. Um, but that being said, um, the show is basically a very good show. I binged watched it yesterday. The CGI is good, the acting is good. Like I said, there's some big names in here. Um, Story elements are good. Like I said, they used both Jupiter's Circle and Jupiter's Legacy combined to give us the story of how the heroes got their powers, as well as the current story moving forward. Um, so I'm expecting maybe 2 or 3 more seasons out of this. Um, so yeah, it is a really good show. The acting is good. I enjoyed it. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it like a 4.5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. Um, so I think you all should go and check it out. It's really good. Like I said twice or so before. Um, there's also some cool superhero fights. There's some unique superhero powers as well. Some of the villains have powers. Uh, there's a kind of Batman-esque character in here too. Um, so yeah. If you want a comparison of what this is, think of it maybe like The Boys, but instead of like The Boys being spoiler for The Boys, like how The Boys there's the heroes are really bad guys. Think of it of like it's more realistic like that, but instead of everyone being bad, there's the dynamic of good and bad here. Um, you could also maybe look at it similar to Invincible that came out on Amazon Prime Video a few weeks ago, similar to that. But yeah, if you're in the mood for something actiony with some good story, an interesting plot, I would recommend you go check out Jupiter's Legacy now. Like I said, it's only 8 episodes. I think you could binge watch it in a day because the episodes, like I said, range between 30 minutes to less than an hour, so maybe 50 something minutes. Um, 8 episodes. The story is pretty good. Some of you may think that it starts off a bit slow. If you do think that, give it until maybe episode 2 and you'll fully get into it. Um, Also, it ends on a really nice cliffhanger that leaves you wanting more. That's not a spoiler, but it ends on a cliffhanger that keeps you hooked and wanting more. Um, so my suggestion, go check it out, and if you enjoyed, you can maybe check out the comic as well and see what is the difference. So far it looks like it's pretty accurate to the comics. Um, Minor changes here and there, but for the main part or the most part, pretty accurate. So yeah, all in all, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Give it a like. I tried to do a mini quick spoiler review to get this out there so you all would know to go and check it out. So yeah, Jupiter's Legacy, good show. Go check it out now. Bye.